Hello, everybody, and welcome to Umineko, Episode 6. I hate that part of my brain still wanted to say the silver case.
That's
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, I know. It's funny because I literally have Umineko up here on the screen to the left of me right now. But yeah, what is it? Originally, we were going to do the silver case, and then someone floated the idea of, hey, we should do a makeup session because we kind of missed yesterday due to various personal reasons and whatnot. So, yeah. Popular census said Umineko, so we're doing that now.
Rindy's been looking forward to this part.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. I bet you have.
I like some of the themes in this part.
So
Do you think that this game contains scenes?
uh, other
It contains scenes and it contains sponsors.
right? You wanna give the daily sponsor?
Yes, this Umineko Nanaku Koroni episode is brought to you by Craft Singles. Make something amazing.
Um, other than that, I
Yes.
just wanted to say some rather funny tangent. Despite the fact that I have a fucking playlist that's dedicated specifically to streaming, I just grabbed my like usual song playlist because I have the Biken theme on that. I've been playing that on loop. I have this is a hand grenade in the making because if I forget to loop the Biken theme, it's gonna play that really popular song from Encanto, and I'm just gonna get annihilated by Disney.
We don't
Hey, Orange,
talk
don't
about
forget
Bruno.
to pay that too. Don't
No,
forget to talk about Bruno.
no.
We don't talk we don't talk about Disney on
Orange,
this
you
channel.
literally can't talk about Bruno.
I literally can't talk about it. Yeah, but enough about that.
Sing surface pressure, but not Bruno.
At any rate, enough about Bruno. Enough about any of that nonsense. Let's go ahead and fucking jump right into it as soon as I get the correct thing playing. I hate that Streamlabs just hates fucking Pawn Scripter. I don't get it. Alright, let's see. So yeah, you guys can see this. Pawn Scripter is what Umineko is running on. Let's see. Okay, that's good. Is audio getting through? It is.
It
I just
is.
mute my browser. Okay. Bada bing.
Fuck to get that English patch for Rose Gun Days to fucking work.
It wasn't that hard to set it up.
I've never done it before.
At any rate, let's just jump into it right now.
Umineko, true feelings.
Mm-hmm. On Rokenjima, this day, or rather, this round, was the same as any other. The typhoon would be coming very soon. The sky will still be overcast, but the clouds are moving quickly. The only thing on Natsuhi's mind was the plan to cover up Kinzo's absence again this year. Kraus appeared to have suffered a stomachache from the stress and was sleeping in his room.
Ew.
Hey, Kawabata, there he is!
Hey.
Oh no! Jessica and Kumasawa had left in a boat to go shopping and greet the incoming relatives on Nijima.
I'm going
Yeah,
on
if there's
for a
any
different
voice work
reason.
for me, just let me know because I'm not looking at this.
Just
It really
no,
hurts my
look
eyes.
at it. Wait, what do you mean? It's done. It's done. The fucking motion
Oh,
sickness
it's
is done.
over. Okay, God.
It's over.
Because usually it lasts like 10 minutes.
Anyways, the servants had been busy since the early morning preparing for the family conference, the greatest event of the year. Shannon and Cannon were rushing to get the guest house ready.
If the relatives are going to stay the night, shouldn't the guest rooms in the mansion be more than enough?
Good point. It's a pain to clean up this place too, after all. Even so, I like cleaning the guest house.
Yeah, it's nice and quiet without Madam and all the annoying servants.
Shannon smiled wryly as she performed a detailed examination of the guest room. Did you forget to clean anything? Did you forget to restock anything? She diligently gave the room one final checkup.
You checked everything thoroughly last night too, didn't you? You really are dedicated.
It's days like this that you tend to get pranked if you're careless. You can never find important things when you need them. And things that were supposed to be closed turn out to be open.
That's because you're too careless. You don't pay attention while you work.
I guess that's why you're helping me check. Thanks.
There's nothing to thank me for. If you were a bit more alert, I wouldn't have to help at all.
But yeah, he just want to be with me, right? You're such a kid.
That's not it at all. It's all because you've been so ecstatic about George Sama lately. You're messing up so much, I can't let you out of my sight.
Kanakun, let's chat a bit.
We can't do that now. We're working.
You keep making fun of me and George-sama. But how is it going between you and Jessica-sama?
Nothing's going on in particular. If you have time to talk about that, let's just finish this. But
Cannon had, very obviously, been trying to change the subject. Shannon had then snuck up behind him and pushed him down onto the bed.
So, why did you turn down Milady when she asked you to go with her to welcome the relatives?
because I have work to do.
Liar. You don't actually have any work at all.
Shannon and Cannon had switched roles. Normally, Cannon was the one in control, but when it came to romance, it was the opposite. As Shannon had said, Jessica and Cannon were supposed to have been the ones to go greet the relatives at the harbor on Nijima. However, Cannon suddenly claimed that he had work to do, so Kumasawa had gone instead. Cannon didn't have any work to do. Shannon knew this.
Milady told me. Despite what happened after the cultural festival, she really does like you, Kanaka.
Even though I'm furniture.
That's right. And I'm furniture too.
But despite that, you're in love with a human. Even though you can't do that.
You think so? Maybe we are furniture. Just because we take that for granted.
I don't have any special feelings for Milady Jessica. I only think of her as the daughter of the family I serve.
Really?
Really. What?
You know, there is a chance that George-sama will propose to me tonight.
Huh?
Shannon wore an incredibly peaceful smile on her face. But Cannon could tell that there was no way she'd let him change the subject. Cannon realized that she must have made him help out here in the guest house in order to talk to him about this, and he clicked his tongue softly.
You really think you can marry a human, even though you're furniture?
I think I can.
It won't work.
Why not?
That dream future that George-sama has imagined for you two is something you can never give him.
Well,
We aren't humans. We're furniture, inferior to them. George-sama only thinks that you're human.
oh, well, that is true, but
I'm impressed that you've managed to keep him fooled for this long. Do you really think you can keep tricking him like this forever? Even though you still haven't been able to tell him that you're furniture.
being furniture or being human has nothing to do with this. I believe that George-sama will accept everything about me.
And yet you don't have the courage to check and make sure.
You know what? I think I'll accept his proposal.
As Shannon looked up at the furniture, the ceiling, she spoke of the imagined furniture that she and George would create. Imagine future that she and George would create. God damn it. Though some anxiety over the future appeared on her face, sort of the joy of knowing what it was like to live with love. As Kenan watched this vivid dream he was being shown, he knew that none of his words would reach Shannon anymore.
You can just do what you want. Once you've said you'd do something, you can be incredibly stubborn.
Yep. I want to live life my own way. I like to stop being afraid over whose furniture and who's a human.
Cannon walked all over the window, over to the window silently.
He's
He
just
saw the
walking
rose-
on one.
He saw the rose garden filled with boring gray flowers in bloom. He realized that Shannon was acting above her place, and he knew that her tale had no chance of a happy ending. However, he also knew that no words of his could change her mind now that she had made her decision.
In that case, it doesn't matter what I say. If I tell you to stop, you won't listen. If I tell you to do what you want, you'll do what you want. Why are you talking to me about this? It's not like you care what I have to say.
What I want to know is how you feel about Milady.
I have nothing to do with the two of you.
Do you really feel absolutely nothing for Milady?
No, I don't, as I keep telling you.
Liar.
What makes you think that's a lie?
I can tell. I'm your Nessan, aren't I?
You don't know. You can't know what I'm feeling.
I do. I know everything about you, Canon-kun.
If you really do know, then why did you ask? Your head and your heart are completely filled by George Sama, aren't they? And it's that sincerity of yours that I love. That's why I'm rooting for you in the only way I can. Otherwise, even I wanted to love Milady.
Cannon finally turned to face her, honestly and openly, telling her how he really felt. That was Shannon had wanted to hear. And after hearing that, he pressed Cannon even further to reveal his true feelings.
You can't leave it at that. I won't let you.
Then what should I do? What do you want me to say?
Don't try and dodge by saying I wanted to love her. All you need to do is honestly tell me what you really feel.
Milady is too dazzling for me. The way she lives is dazzling, like the sun. That's why I love her. I was so happy when Milady stretched out her hand and asked me to walk with her. No, I'm still happy.
You love her, don't you?
Yes, I do. I love Milady.
Finally, Cannon confessed his feelings. In fact, by saying it aloud, he finally understood how he truly felt. As passionate tears welled up in his eyes, Cannon finally accepted it. He couldn't stop the tears from dripping down his face.
Both of us are exactly the same. locked up on Rakenshma, living without any hope at all. And yet, Milady was able to light her own path and create her own fate. She was so dazzling that I envied her. I felt as though if I could be with her, I could find my true self, instead of being the pitiful person that I am now.
When you turned down Milady's confession, were you sad?
I was! I never realized that a lie you make your okay, hold on, let me read that. Let me pause real quick. I never realized that a lie you make to yourself could be so sad, so pitiful, so excruciating. And I couldn't forgive myself for hurting Milady with that lie. I believe that I didn't have what it takes to ever fall in love again.
But that wasn't true. Do you know what's needed to fall in love? It's something you can't get from anyone but yourself. Being furniture or not has nothing to do with it. If you decide for yourself that it won't work out, then it won't. You mustn't leap to such rigid conclusions. That's why I, overambitious furniture that I am, gave myself what's needed to fall in love. So you have it too, Canon-kun.
You mean I have what it takes to fall in love?
Yes. If you won't give it to yourself, I'll give it to you.
Thank you. I feel as though I can finally see the sea.
I'm certain of it. George Sama will propose. To me tonight. When he does, I will accept. I intend to leave this island and start a new life in our new world.
If that's the path you've chosen, then I have no say in the matter.
I'll leave this island, and after that I'll never return again. I'll have to say farewell to you, Karen-kun.
You're right. We won't see each other again, will we?
If you do love me, lady, from the bottom of your heart, and if your feelings are at least as strong as my feelings for George-san, then you and I will have to settle whose feelings are really stronger.
Nason.
This way is the best for both of us. Don't give up on your feelings for my sake.
Even though my selfishness might keep you from your happiness.
I realize the same thing about myself. I know that my happiness will bring you pain. We have no choice but to hurt each other.
As she said this, Shannon turned her back to Cannon. As Cannon watched Shannon from behind, he was struck by her strength, and the love she still felt for him despite everything.
Nason. Living with you made me happy.
Me too. I wouldn't have lasted this long without you. And that's why I was able to meet George-san.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have realized how dazzling Milady is if it weren't for you.
I won't abandon the way I feel. I'll focus on that feeling alone, ignoring everything else, and I won't look away when I trample over your heart.
Me too. I won't use it as an excuse to hide the way I really feel.
Whether my love bears fruit, or yours does, will both support the victor.
Yes. I promise. And if I win, I will love Milady and treasure you.
Thank you. But if I win, I'll forget you on this island and leave this place forever.
Yes. Whichever of us wins, that person will pursue their love with all they got. Even if they know that love will be unrequited.
Yes. After all, by now, we are not furniture.
Almost had it.
Alright, we're clear. A+. That was really good.
Oh, thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
It was cute.
By the way, Orange, your mic is cutting out a tiny bit. Usually, like when you end a
Oh.
sentence, weirdly.
Here, how about now? I moved myself a little bit further away because apparently I was really loud by comparison to everybody else. Here, let me I gotta adjust the fucking input sensitivity. There we go.
This expensive
That
mic
should
is
be a little
cursed.
better.
If I may ask Crimson, what do you mean the flash in between that dialogue? You need to do something there. What do you mean by that?
I think you meant when I accidentally
Barry
opened up
Allen.
the log. I think you
Oh,
meant
well,
when I-
that's just going to be easy to edit because I paused immediately and then
Yep.
just continued.
Thank
No,
you.
no,
that
I
was,
meant a meme
that was
joke.
super like.
I'm not putting a meme joke in the middle of an emotional scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Exactly.
Consider-
It ruins it.
Yeah, like that. You gotta understand, like my scroll wheel is like really sensitive for some fucking reason. I don't know why.
I probably could do a meme joke, but I don't think it
I
would be
decided
fitting for
against.
Don't do the final
had-
flare, or whatever it was
I-
called. The
I
solar
had a
flare.
thought. I had a
Playing
thought
it-
about the bit, but I decided against it.
Playing it super strong or playing it super straight. It's good stuff. Okay. Anyway, the boat carrying the relatives docked at the harbor. They left the boat one by one, making fun of Battler. Goda wasn't the only one to greet them. Cannon was there too. It has been quite some time, everyone. Allow me to welcome you to Rokenjima.
I hope your long journey went smoothly. Welcome to Rokenjima.
Ah, good. Goda complimented Cannon in a whisper. Cannon ignored this, looking just a little sour, and continued to greet the incoming relatives. Sorry, the way I play Goda is literally it is impossible for him to whisper.
This is your first time meeting Goda-san and Ganon-kun, isn't it, Battler-kun?
No. Gone?
Sorry, I was coughing.
Ooh. Gotcha.
It's my first time meeting Battler, too!
Goda-san's a great chef. He's the only reason anyone ever want to come to this island.
I am most honored, Battler-sama. I do hope you look forward to your meals during your stay. I can't wait. I'm counting on you.
Long time no see, Canon-kun. You seem to be in high spirits today. That's great.
You think so?
Oh, yes. Your face is looking brighter today. Maybe it's your complexion, or maybe it's that your gaze is looking a little bit more gallant.
Must be a growing phase. That's how a boy becomes a man.
You usually look as though you're about to pass out from anemia. You're a bit different today.
You've got some spunk. A boy can change a lot in just 3 days. I guess this means even Canon-kun's getting a little bit more manly.
We aren't making fun of you, okay? We're all complimenting you.
Canon had sworn to start changing the way he lived bit by bit. However, he had only meant to change within himself, and unexpected that it would show on the outside. He was a bit shocked to hear that his expression had changed so much. That people had apparently noticed as soon as he opened his mouth. No. Maybe the real surprise is that his normal expression must have looked so incredibly sullen in comparison. Goda led the way up to the guest house. Canon brought up the rear, helping to carry some of Kumasawa's shopping.
Does my face really look that bright today?
Does it, Shelly?
Oh, looks better.
Oh, it looks that way to me as well. Did something good happen?
Even Kumasawa was saying it. Canon, unable to see what his own face looked like, hung his head in embarrassment. When they reached the rose garden, they could see the others streaming into the guest house. Sorry, I want to say steam.
Did you forget how to say stream?
No, I thought he said steam. Then he saw Jessica
Classic
running towards him
in a
from there.
recipe.
More of an Albany expression. Is even Milady Jessica. Oh, that's Josh.
That's a Joshy line.
Is even Milady Jessica going to say that I'm in a good mood today?
Canon hung his head even deeper. And so, almost as though he couldn't control himself, Canon spoke first.
Do I really look that different?
Oh? Well, you know. You want people decide to come out and say hello of your own accord. That's probably why everyone was surprised.
I apologize for not going with you earlier, milady.
Huh? Oh, don't worry about that. I'm the one who's sorry for asking you to come all the way out to Nijima with me to meet everyone. I know how busy you must be today.
I didn't have anything in particular to do. You were just so dazzling. So dazzling that I couldn't bear to be with you.
Oh my fucking god.
I was just weak.
Jessica faltered, uncertain what Canon was talking about. However, she realized that this was something too important to be laughed off.
Did something happen, Canon-kun?
Shannon says she's going to get married.
I see. So, George Nissan is going to propose this time after all.
Jessica thought Canon was sad because Shannon would be leaving. That this new mental state had caused the change in his behavior. Doesn't Canon realize that Jessica was probably thinking this? So he spoke to her clearly and honestly, because he wanted her to know.
I decided that I would stop working here if Nason ever quit.
I know. So, where are you going to quit to, Canon-kun?
I'm not sure anymore. I feel that if I quit, I might lose sight again of something you revealed to me, shining like the sun.
Jessica could only stare blankly, unable to understand what he was saying. However, she did realize that he was trying to tell her something important. And so, she was able to accept that his next words were neither a lie nor a joke.
Milady Jessica, I love you.
I love you too.
You live your life like the sun, and I want to try walking that path alongside you. I have a feeling that, with you, I will be able to break free from the me that I despise as furniture.
You aren't furniture, Canon-kun. And you weren't born just so you could become a servant. Boy your age should be enjoying life much, much more. I'm dazzled too. You're so dazzling, I can hardly see.
This is how I truly feel. I'm sorry for trying to hide it for so long. I apologize for hurting you on that day, in my cowardice.
That's okay. Just hearing you say that makes me happy.
So, since I've wanted to always be with you, I plan to stop being furniture. I ask that you give me some time to do that. Please forgive this last bit of weakness.
There's nothing weak about you. You've shown me. You've shown me that you have the incredible courage to change yourself from the way you used to be. So, I'll support you until the end, and I won't rush you until you're ready. If I'm the sun lighting your path, that's because I wanted to shine more brightly than anyone else, so that you'd only look at me. Without you, there's no way I'd become anything like a sun. So, I'll wait. No matter how long it takes.
Thank you, milady.
Milady is a bit stiff, don't you think?
May I call you by your name?
Sure. Oh, but only when we're alone, okay? Otherwise, it might make things tough for you.
Good point. Mason and George-sama are doing the same, it seems.
If Shannon hadn't been about to get engaged, you wouldn't have said what you said just now, right?
Canon hung his head at a loss for words for some time. But it was true. If Shannon hadn't told him about the engagement, he probably wouldn't have been having this conversation at this moment.
Yes. Because of that, I was able to think long and hard.
Ah, come on. You heard about Shannon and you wanted to see what love felt like yourself, right?
Yes.
That's a pretty straight answer. Well, when I watched those two, I was pretty jealous myself.
In truth, it wasn't quite like that for either of them. They had been shown the courage needed to speak up and to tell the one you love how you feel. That's what pushed both Canon and Jessica forward.
So, what should I call you?
Jessica works fine.
Just saying it like that would be a bit embarrassing.
Then you can use San, at least at first. Why not try it out? Come on.
Jessica-san.
Good. That'll do for now. Then I'd like to call you by your name, Canon-kun. You have a real name, besides Canon, don't you? I'll bet it has the same character in it, like Canon does. What could it be?
My name is Yoshia.
Oh! How is it written?
Jessica tried tracing out various characters on the palm of her hand. Then Ken used his own finger to write out his name on her hand.
You write it as that.
So, you're Yoshia-kun. Yeah, that's a great name. Totally better than my weird name.
That's not true. My Lady Jessica has a wonderful name.
Hey, say it again.
Huh? My Lady Jessica has.
One more time.
My Lady Jessica has a wonderful. Is something wrong?
No big deal. Thanks, Yoshia-kun.
The red, red flowers of the rose garden seemed to celebrate the two lovers, whose feelings had finally connected. The scene was watched by one not human, who gazed out quietly from beneath the rose garden arbor. This is from Chick Biota's perspective, so Colin, we're good to go.
Alright.
Come to think of it, those two had never called each other by their names until now. Jessica hadn't known Canon's true name. Canon hadn't called Jessica by her name. When people call each other by name, they acknowledge the worth of the other's soul. That's why names are sacred. When you've been given permission to say someone's name, it means they've acknowledged your soul. Is that why Father wants me to call him by his name? No, that's probably wrong. When Father sees me, it reminds him of that other me, the past me. And I'm sure that me called Father by his name. However, that probably doesn't mean Father would be happy to hear me call him by his name. After all, I am me, and not the Beatrice Father knows well. What can I do to help Father? How can I be useful to him? After all, that's the only reason I was born.
Hanging her head, Beatrice sat all alone in the Golden Lands arbor next to the rose garden. And she was watched by the Witch of Theater Going and her Miko as they sat across from each other. Wow.
Poor kid.
I never thought I'd see you feel compassion for Beato.
It'd be too cruel to call this Beato and the former Beato the same person. They're completely different people. It may be that, by the rules, this Beato is the Beato. However, saying that would be horribly unfair to her.
Battler must be very depressed to have things end up this way after reviving his former rival.
I sort of get Oni-chan's despair. But I can understand how this kid feels too. No person can become a replacement for another. Not even a past version of that same person. Compared to the young boy and girl who have found new versions of themselves by calling each other by their true names.
Oh, that was third person. Sorry.
It's fine. Compared to the young boy and girl who had found new versions of themselves by calling each other by their true names, this witch looked very feeble. The witch knew that she was an illusion created in the image of the person she once was. And she also knew that it would only hurt Battler to try and pretend to be that person.
And despite all of that, this Beato wants to be useful to Battler. How admirable.
Is that the purpose for the witch known as Beatrice?
That is what she claims. She says that she was created to be of service to Battler.
So, a Beato who was born for Oni-chan's sake eventually commits a serial murder. And drags Oni-chan into a bizarre game that she calls eternal torture? I don't get it.
I believe you also understand that one can become a different person over 1,000 years.
At the very least, Beatrice was once a pure creature who was born for Battler's sake. It's also very clear that in her current feeble state, she doesn't possess any of the courage or motivation needed to bring about such fearsome serial murders. That means the sinister witch we all know must have changed during the 1,000 years since her birth. We keep getting this 1,000 years business. But I get the feeling that those words are just a metaphor for a really long time in the world of witches.
As you get close to the world of gods, the concept of time becomes increasingly vague. 6 years can become 1,000, and 1,000 can be nothing more than a quick nap. One can fit an eternity long, enough to be deserving of the title 100-year-old witch in a mere 2 weeks.
In other words, the pure Beato transformed into the cruel Beato. During 6 years that could be called 1,000. So, does that mean something bad happened during those 6 years that made her hate Oni-chan? That doesn't make sense. During those 6 years, Oni-chan not only stayed away from Rokenshima, he even stopped using the Yoshiomiya name. He had nothing to do with that change. Her hatred has got to be totally misguided.
Got it. Oh, so that is where you were. Or this is where you were. Shall I make you some black tea?
Kumasawa-san, there's something I'd like to know.
Oh. Very well. What is it?
My name is Beatrice. Isn't it?
Yes, that is correct. You are Beatrice-sama, milady.
However, the Beatrice that Father talks about isn't me.
Well...
I think Father wanted me to be that person. I think that might be why he was disappointed, because no matter how much I look like her, I am a different person.
That isn't true. You are you, Beatrice-sama herself. You have merely lost your memory of the past upon being newly reborn. Even without your memory, you are still Beatrice-sama. You are the same person whom the Master loves.
So then, how can I regain those memories?
Well...
Beata looked at Kumasawa with hopeful eyes, as though praying that she would tell her the way. Kumasawa averted her gaze unhelpfully, as though trying to say that she'd like to, if only such a way existed.
If I can't regain those memories, can't you at least tell me what kind of person the Beatrice Father loved was?
That much I can tell you, but...
I was born for Father's sake. So, I want to become the Golden Witch Beatrice that Father desires.
Beatrice-sama?
I cannot use magic. However, if the witch Father desires could use it, then I will learn. I want to become the witch he desires. That's the only way I can repay Father for creating me. That's admirable. Without the 1,000 years gone wrong, she really is an incredible kid.
A chick of a witch. Very interesting. I've taken a liking to her, Angie. I shall allow this chick to make use of my library. Let us open up the door that leads back to the world of witches.
So, you're going to make her read aloud the stories about her previous self. Yes, I want to know too. The creation story of the Golden Witch Beatrice.
Ah. Jelly said he's currently unavailable.
Very well. If you wish it, then let us open the door once more.
Con?
Con? Hello.
Apparently, we have now lost Khan.
Nope, still here.
Oh, just coughing? Alright, cool.
Kumasawa-san.
A golden splash welled up around them. It was a cloud of gold butterflies. With a flash of gold, the form of the old lady transformed into that of a witch in a dress.
You must choose the path that you are to walk down. Let us call it a path of roses. The beautifully blooming roses may encourage you, and their thorns may torment you. But even so, it is a path that you've walked down before. You may pass through the same 1,000 years. You may pass through a different 1,000 years. If you wish, you may even return back the way you came.
I'll move on forward. I don't want to spend 1,000 years in this garden drinking tea. I, Beatrice, was born for Father's sake. So I want to live for Father's sake. Please tell me about the Golden Witch.
The Great Witch spread her arms, communicating the other's unbending determination to the brilliant heavens. At that moment, a brilliant light covered the two of them, and before they knew it, they were in a strange study. There sat the master of this library, the great old witch and her Miko. Virgilia gave a deep and elegant bow.
It is the greatest of honors to be in your presence. Lady Featherine Augustus Aurora, the majestic witch of theatre-going, drama, and spectating.
Raise your head, child of man. I shall give that child the privilege of using my library however she likes for a time. Angie, my Miko, you will see to her needs.
Sure, as you wish, my master. You know, you could just say, let me read your story.
Miko of the Witch of Theatre-going, I leave Beatrice in your care.
But pleased to meet you. The Beatrice you're trying to become was suffering from something, in her own way. At the very least, you've been released from that for the time being. Will you really go on a journey to regain those shackles? Yes. I want to become the Golden Witch. That is the reason I was born.
I, the endless and finite witch Publius Virgilia Maro, ask that you make her journey through purgatory a pleasant one, granting her your protection.
Huh? Oh, Let it be known that as the Miko of the Witch of Theatre-going, and as the Endless Witch and Apprentice Witch of Resurrection, I, Angie Beatrice, do humbly accede to your request, or whatever.
Featherin snorted.
So, you also bear the name of Beatrice? That's right. I know a lot about you. Please teach me. What kind of person was I? Sure. And I'll want you to teach me. Why did you become the person you were?
In this library, the fragments show the tales of all your games up until now. All of your games up until now are stored as books. By reading them, you should be able to learn everything that has happened before now.
By reading them, can I become a golden witch?
And to become a golden witch, one must solve the epitaph of the gold. And this trial cannot be skipped, not even by Beatrice herself.
I'll do my best. So please, let me read the books in this library. As admirable as ever. Why are you so set on ending up like that again? I do not know what I was like then. However, if that me can be of use to Father, I want to become it.
Angie signed resignedly. No words would stop this girl's feeling of respect. Angie was the Miko of the Witch of Theater Going. She could do nothing but watch over the stage. That's right. They weren't actually interfering with the play. This was just a bit of decorating, to shine the spotlight on the tale of Beato's past. Even this was nothing more than the Witch of Theater Going, watching a play.
If you read, you will learn what kind of person the old Beatrice was. However, you must decide what you will take from that experience. You are free to leave the library or leave it, or even return to it again later. In exchange, I will watch your play.
You'll watch my play? Basically, it means you can do whatever you want. Thank you very much. She likes it when you call her Featherin. Thank you very much, Featherin-sama.
After being welcomed in by Featherin, Beata left on a journey to discover herself. That tale connected to the old tale with the new one. It wove them together. The 1,000-year-old tale about her returned to its starting point, becoming a snake eating its own tail. The ring of that snake began slowly, bit by bit, to turn into the shape of a small island floating on the sea. And that was Rokenjima. The 1,000 years of the witch born on this island were tied to the island. Was it 1,000 years? Or just 6? Or did this tale start even further back into the past? Beatrice went on a journey to find herself. The wind had been strengthening since a while back. The breaking waves had grown fierce. The ferry boats probably wouldn't be coming for a while now. The crashing thunder told that the island had been sealed off from the outside world. A thick rain poured down, mocking the fools outdoors who had to rush pathetically to find shelter. No longer would anyone be able to leave this island. And no longer would anyone be able to reach this island. No one, unless blessed with a miracle. There was another flash of lightning. The retinas of all who saw it were filled with white. As that white faded away, an eerie shadow pulled itself up amidst the raging waters of the beach. As though suddenly remembering to do so, it coughed violently several times, filthily spitting out the sea water that had filled its stomach. She then tore apart the touch fastener on her life jacket, and threw down the reason she had been able to float here without so much the thank you.
Welcomed in by a storm, same as always. Very good. Yes, come and entertain me, Battler's son.
Ew, no, the goblin. Oh no, get away!
The annoying guest.
I was really hoping we'd actually get Beato's backstory right there.
No.
No, that was Erica's intro, not Beato's backstory.
No, instead we get the intellectual rapist.
News of the drifter, Furuno Erica, quickly spread across Rokonjima. Erica had been welcomed in politely, and it was decided that she would be treated as a guest until the typhoon passed. There. In the dining hall, Goda's wonderful dinner had ended, and everyone was relaxing and enjoying some after-dinner coffee and cheese. Apparently, Battler was a bit relieved that Erica had come and turned into a good scapegoat. It drove away some of the attention that had been getting piled on him, finally coming back after 6 years. In fact, he turned out to be very talkative. When the conversation turned to a sophisticated discussion of the mystery genre, even the adults were drawn in. She was apparently so well-versed that even Nanjo, who had a vast knowledge of the subject, was impressed. Good point. A strange family in a western mansion on an isolated island during a storm. And we have a detective stopping by to take shelter for the rain. We've got all the major factors lined up.
Have no fear. No matter how difficult the crime, I will solve it. That's a detective's job.
How reassuring. It almost sounds as though you want a bizarre crime to occur. I hope I don't have to play the part of the victim.
Dear, you mustn't say such things.
Well, the history of the human mystery genre is only about a century old. Its tricks and ideas are limited to a few recycled patterns. There's nothing left to show. No matter what kind of impossible crimes or closed-room murders might occur, it'll be nothing more than one of the same classes of tricks dressed up to look like something new. The only reason mysteries still make for popular books today is because of self-proclaimed fans. Those who work off pieces to piece together knowledge and who have hardly read any of the classics. Mistakenly think that a classic trick that they didn't know about, through lack of proper study, is actually something new and surprising.
Everyone couldn't help but gape at this imposing claim. If an aged critic had said it, this would be one thing. But to think that a young person like this could say it so boldly.
Mystery's a genre that ended half a century ago, at least as far as I'm concerned. However, thanks to countless ignorant fools, I get to play my part as a detective.
by that argument, wouldn't it mean that romance is perfected back in Shakespeare's time? So it's everything after isn't worth reading? So everything afterwards isn't worth reading? Meh.
Exactly. So if you just read Romeo and Juliet, it's the same as having understood all of romance.
That's ridiculous. As long as I need to read more books than everyone else just for its own sake. But on the other hand, you can't be so satisfied with just a few stories like that. Sticking to classics of the past and never reading anything new is a sign of excessive nostalgia, don't you think? Sounds to me like the excuse of an old person who can't be bothered to read more.
I see. I guess I'll need to read at least as much as you do, or else I'll probably lose in an argument.
Me? I don't read books. Battler chuckled, but Erica knew from the previous game that Battler was actually quite an avid reader. So his words felt like more of a challenge.
Oh fuck. If you're so confident in your reasoning abilities, you must be really good at quizzes and puzzles, right?
Oh, right. Maria, didn't you bring a quiz book or something?
Run it!
Realizing that Erica's arrogant statement had made the atmosphere a little more tense, George smoothly changed the subject. By now it was more than clear that she wasn't the cute guest she had appeared to be. Maria pulled a book out of her bag that had quizzes and puzzles written on it, and started reading them to everyone. It looked like it might turn into a peaceful quiz party. But of course, that isn't what happens. As a credit to all her big talk, Erica manages an impressive ratio of correct and immediate answers. She took complete control. And her bragging began to escalate more and more. George slightly regretted the choice he'd made when changing the subject.
"106 matches. Need to even write a tournament chart for it."
The question, how many matches would you need to a tournament with 107 teams, was answered instantly by Erica.
This is less of a puzzle than it is a test of knowledge. There's a formula which shows that the number of matches is always the number of teams minus 1. Well, if you just look at the examples showing 3 matches for 4 teams and 7 matches for 8 teams, it should be easy to figure out the pattern.
Huh?
Erica, that's awesome!
Erica Onechan, right? Say it.
Erica Onechan! That's awesome!
Really
I'm not
impressive.
dying, I'm fine.
So you don't call yourself a detective for nothing.
I couldn't very well act the part of a detective if I was incapable of handling puzzles of this sort.
Incredible. I am sure that he'll be able to become a real detective in the future.
Well, I'm pretty sure I already am one.
The cousins all thought about the answers to the questions, but Erica always answered first. Rosa thought it was a bit rude for Erica to say the answers out loud when people were still thinking, instead of keeping them to herself. But since Erica was a guest, she decided against mentioning it. In truth, Erica was perfectly aware of this when she answered the questions instantly. Each time she would grin broadly,
As though saying, "You all still haven't solved such an easy problem?"
A great detective like you really shouldn't need to take these too seriously, right?
Good point. Even though these are just childish questions, I was getting a bit too serious. I'll take more care, so let's have the next question, please.
Alright. I won't lose this time. Maria, next question!
You have one large piece of cheese. A single slice with a knife can split it into 2 parts. So, what is the lowest number of slices you can make to cut it into 8 parts?
Oh, I know this one. So I guess I'll stay quiet this time.
George, acting like the adult he was, set up a mood that would prevent people from answering right away, even if they knew the answer. In effect, sending a warning to Erica. It seemed that Erica understood, and she averted her gaze, snorting derisively.
To make 8 pieces, 4 slices will be enough, right?
That's dumb. It would hardly be a puzzle if that was the answer.
That's right. These are usually set up so that a smaller number than you'd expect is the answer. But still, how exactly could it be done? Oh, got it. You can only do this because it's cheese.
True. If you tried to do it with a birthday cake, there'd be a huge fight.
That's right! You might be able to do this with cheese, but you'd never cut a cake like this.
Huh? All of you know the answer? Damn it. Am I the only one who doesn't?
Oh, I've got it! Yeah, you gotta think three-dimensionally.
Wait, even Jessica? I don't get it. What should I do?
I know the answer. It's written right here.
You didn't know the answer until you looked, right? Get it, Battler-kun?
I see. I understood it as well. This is something you could do because it is a cheese.
Even Dr. Nanja gets it? Could it be? Am I the one who doesn't get it?
I'm sure even your brain could be as flexible as cheese if we cooked it a little, Battler-san.
Isn't something like use 0 slices with a knife and break it apart with your hands, right?
Ha! Of course not! It's impossible to cut this cheese with anything other than a knife.
Think of the cheese in 3 dimensions. If that's hard, it might help to draw a picture on a napkin.
So, we have one large piece of cheese, right? It means a knife to make 8 pieces. Can the knife only cut in a straight line?
I think Khan's doing funnies in the chat.
Okay, I'm okay. Oh god. Yes, that's right. The knife only cuts in straight lines. Oh, but here's a hint. You can only cut in a straight line, but you're free to cut it wherever you want.
Try thinking of a bunch of ways to stick it in. I know I do. You should probably try to think out of the box a bit. Show us what you've got, Battler-kun.
You have a large piece of cheese. How many times must you cut it with a knife to make 8 pieces? You could obviously do it in 4 cuts. Could be done in even fewer cuts than that. Our hint so far has pointed to it being possible specifically because it's cheese. If it was a birthday cake, you wouldn't really be allowed to do this. Cheese. Cheese. Something you can do because it's cheese. Oh! Oh! I got it, I got it! I was totally tricked. This is something you could do, you could think up if your mind's all stiff and rigid.
Seems like you finally hit on it. Hopefully it actually is the right answer.
It's impossible to cut the cheese with anything except the knife, right? The knife can only cut in a straight line, right? There aren't any other rules, right? Right?
Again?
I'm okay.
I somewhat doubt that, Khan.
I'm fine. 95%.
Not really.
Alright then, that's gotta be it. Whew! That was a tough one. That was like a riddle.
You just gotta get beyond cutting straight down from the top all the time. You make 2 cuts from the top to get 4 pieces. If you keep it like that and cut across the side, splitting into upper and lower halves, you get 4 times 2 equals 8 pieces.
It's an answer you can't reach unless you think 3-dimensionally. In other words, the correct answer is 3.
Huh? Really? I thought the correct answer was 1.
Hello, Wario.
What kind of magic did you use? There's no way in the world you can manage it with 1.
This isn't a riddle, it's just a normal math problem.
Huh? Oh, really? I thought of the 3-cut method right away. But I figured that'd be too easy, so I guess I tried to twist it too far.
Battler's answer is smaller than the one in the book. Is Battler right?
Yes, he is. Battler-san is right. The correct answer is 1 slice.
Battler was happy that someone had confirmed his answer. However, at some point, Erica's face had lost its cheeriness.
To think that a human other than myself would give the answer 1, and that it'd be you of all people.
Your answer is 1 too, Erica? I guess you're also thinking out of the box.
After all, it'd be truly foolish to simply assume you knew what shape it was, after hearing that it was a piece of cheese.
That's impossible. Oni-chan got it wrong, didn't he? How could you cut it into 8 pieces with less than 3 slices?
How foolish, child of man. It says to cut it into 8 pieces, but nowhere does it say that they have to be of equal size.
It's still impossible. Do you cut it with something other than a knife?
The rules say that only the knife can cut it, and that the knife can only cut in a straight line. However, to turn it around, the rules do not say anything besides that. In fact, the shape of the cheese is never specified.
I see. When you all heard a large piece of cheese, you thought it was a flat cylinder, like camembert or something. I was thinking about sliced cheese, like the kind you might put in your toast for breakfast. Because, you know, full blocks of cheese you cut with a knife or something I come across that often.
The shape of the cheese isn't specified in the rules. A mistake by the one who made the book. I imagine that there's a picture of a flat cylinder of cheese there in Maria-san's book.
There is. Right here.
As Erica could have guessed, the book Maria had held had an illustration of a piece of cheese just as Erica had described it. With cheese of this shape, 3 slices really would be the correct answer. You cut in a plus pattern from the top to make 4 pieces, and cut it from the side to double that and make 8 pieces. However, since the illustration hadn't been shown, the interpretation of the cheese had been left to the answerer.
That's right. At the moment the problem was stated, no one said anything about how the cheese was shaped or how flexible it was.
Exactly. It seems that Battler-san was the more flexible one, when it comes to both brains and cheese.
I don't get it. How does it making it sliced cheese let you cut into 8 parts with a single knife slice?
Why not try it with that paper napkin? Pretend it's sliced cheese.
It's like this. You fold it accordion style. How many times needed to fold it to make 8 sections?
6 times.
The folded accordion style, you alternate between upwards and downward folds. Once you've done this 6 times, look at the sides of an accordion. With normal cheese, it'll break if you try to fold it like this. But the rules say that this cheese can't break unless you use a knife, right?
Yes, no problems there. After all, this is magic cheese that can only be cut by a knife.
After folding it, you start at the top and make a cut right down the middle.
Yeah, you're right. And make 8 parts.
Wait a second. The parts aren't all equal this way, right?
All the questioner said it was to cut into 8 pieces. They didn't say anything about them being equal. Well, if you change the way you fold it, it's possible to make them all equal sizes, but I wouldn't want to confuse you stiff-headed people with the explanation.
Oh!
For a while, everyone was stunned. Battler had reached a far better answer than 3 by thinking of the problem as a riddle. Erica had known both answers and even spotted a mistake by the book. The others could do nothing but stare at those two in surprise.
Incredible. So, we were the stiff-headed ones?
What an utter defeat.
We were thinking in 3 dimensions. But it looks like Battler-kun and Erica-kun were thinking in 1 dimension higher.
It seems the game with the witch has toughened you up quite a lot. Puzzles without specified rules, in other words, all things not covered by the red truth, are left to the observer's interpretation. It's the most basic of methods for constructing gaps in the witch's closed rooms.
What are you talking about? Is that a quote from some novel?
Well, let's call it that for now, shall we? Anyway, I guess this means that everyone's brains are as thick as rock-hard cheese.
Well,
Without any signs of restraint, Eric looked at everyone and laughed sarcastically. Only Maria didn't notice the venom in that laugh as she happily turned to the next page.
And then on to the next problem. You have 3 cups and 6 coins. Split up the coins so that there's 1 coin in 1 cup, 2 coins in another cup, and 3 coins in a third cup.
Wait a sec. That's easy. Just stick 1 coin in the first cup, 2 in the next one, and 3 in the last one, and you're done.
However, can you do the same thing with only 5 coins?
Here's another cliched problem. Some of you all need to waste several precious seconds on a problem like this.
By now, Erica was gazing around with an unpleasant look, acting in a manner that was completely inappropriate, both for a guest and for someone of her age. She was no longer a guest who would be staying until the storm passed. She had transformed into an annoying guest who wouldn't leave until the storm passed. Everyone thought this, but they were unable to say it aloud.
Right. Speaking of problems with coins, I heard that picking up coins is a good way of judging someone's skill with chopsticks.
Chopsticks! Yes, chopsticks, that's right! Chopsticks are the most elegant utensils on the planet!
Oh,
Poking
this
things
is
and
why
chopping
she's
them
Dad's
up
wife.
with forks and knives is so barbaric! Chopsticks are the best! For me, using chopsticks is truly an art!
Jessica was about to say, aren't chopsticks just sticks? But stopped herself just in time. She realized that it'd be best to let George take control for now.
I have a coin here, so would you like to challenge me? I'm pretty good with chopsticks.
That's right! We trained George very well in those. We got him a tutor. His name is Zaz.
Indeed. Table manners are a window into one's upbringing. And Erika-san uses them quite well herself. I'll lend you some coins, too. It'll probably be more fun with more of them.
Sorry. Jessica. Watch closely and learn.
Damn it.
I see, you're needed on set. Oh, she's gonna say, oh fuck, when he realizes.
I said the line, didn't I?
You did not! You were horribly blurred out.
Alright, let's go. Let's see if you can move the most coins over to that plate.
Did you put some noise reduction shit in your fucking mic? I can't hear you for shit right now.
I did not.
Wait, okay, speak loudly and clearly into the mic really quickly.
Alright, let's go.
There you go.
Let's see who can move the most coins over to their plate.
Bring it on! Chopsticks! Chopsticks!
Oh, that's why he's been using the emote.
Ew.
This time, George had steered the conversation into a good direction. Everyone else understood, and that helped, and they helped to egg on the chopstick fight and change the subject. They're fully aware by now that Eric was extremely proud of her intelligence. And apparently she had the bad habit of using it to look down on other people. She spun her chopsticks around with the deft hand of a juggler, staring at the coins scattered on the table like a dog who had been told to stay after having a meal placed in front of it. The unsettling sound of the wind had now blended into the sound of rain. mimicking the howl of some monstrous beast. Just when it seemed to be crying out sadly, it would suddenly turn into a roar and rattle the window, striking up even more fear and unease within me. Light from the hallway poured in through the thin crack of the slightly open door. It seemed to carry with it laughter that was warm and happy, but very distant. I'm sure everyone's in the dining hall or somewhere, having a good time. I want to go there as soon as I can. I'm sure my family will be there. I hate being all alone in a place like this. Dad. Mom. I stubbornly tried again and again to get that door open. The merciless chain just wouldn't let it open any further than that crack. On the contrary, feeling this close to a way out just made me even more impatient. Gulping and trying to ignore the fear lurking behind me, I quietly closed the door. That light coming out of the crack. It's just a trap. An iron shackle making it look like I'm an inch away from freedom. Though that door will never actually open. A shackle trapping me in here for all eternity. I need to get out of this creepy room as soon as possible. When I closed the door, all that filled up the room were the eerie sounds of wind and rain. The way the wind picked up every now and then shook the window frame. I felt like a monster in a cage shaking the bars. I was so scared of that monster. I couldn't help but avert my gaze from the window. Gotta search. If I can't get out the door, I need to find another way out. Just the side of the door was a closet, as there was only enough space inside to hang overcoats. Because it didn't connect to anywhere outside the room. As for hide and seek, it'd probably be fun to hide in there. However, inside this creepy room, it'd be no better than stepping into my own coffin. If I go in there, maybe I'll find myself trapped in the closet next. This fear I didn't understand sent a massive shiver up my spine. Closed the closet door in a hurry. There's one door left. When I opened it, there was a bath and a toilet. Of course, there was no exit. There weren't even any windows. If I turned the faucet, water would probably come out and disappear down the drain and flow outside. But I couldn't get out that way. As I went into the bathtub with the stopper pulled out of the drain, it smashed my flesh and bones to bits. I had a feeling that was my only way out. The black stopper in the bathtub drain looked extremely terrifying. I tried a lot of things, both mentally and physically. But there really was no chance of me getting out through the bathroom. Next is the window. Beyond the window is a pitch-black darkness. The fierce winds and rain are slamming against the glass. The darkness at the other end of the window may have been unsettling, but I didn't really care where I went, as long as it got me out of this room. However, the window was clamped shut. Right down the middle of the window, which was made to swing open like a set of double doors, were several ugly metal clamps. Even more unnerving than the chain on the door, like to a rough operation scar on some bizarre monster. The wind and rain slammed against the window frame, shaking it and making it creak loudly. However, unlike the door, this wouldn't open even a crack. Give it a rest already. What the hell's going on with this room? I've had enough of this creepy room. Enough. It's impossible to go outside except by the door and the windows. Compared to that thick door, the window looks like it might be impossible to break. I'll smash it. Let's make a chair out of it. The glass will probably break. I might even be able to smash the wooden grid that runs through these lattice windows. What I need to do is make a gap large enough to slide out of. I grabbed a fancy-looking antique chair and headed back to the window. Ah! Smash it! Over and over. The glass smashed with a violent sound, and the frame groaned and creaked. Smash it. Over and over. I could just break through the wooden grid. Damn it! Even the glass has been smashed apart. Even the cold rain that blew and tormented me. I couldn't get that grid to break. They weren't iron bars. It was just a slender wooden mesh. Even though it's fragile enough to make that creaking sound, why doesn't it break? No, wait. Maybe it's almost broken. What if I try attacking it from a different angle instead of just smashing it head on? I stuck my left hand outside through the hole in the broken latticed window, grabbed the frame from the front with my right hand, tried to break it by shaking it around from both sides. My left hand started to grow ice cold from the frigid winds and rain. I shook it, fragments of glass sticking out from the broken frame poked into me, and my wrist was soon stained with blood. But if I can just get out of here, this much pain is no big deal. I can't get it out. It's stuck. It won't open. I can't break it. The more violently I shook the frame, the more of the glass fragments tore into my left wrist, causing me intense pain. What? Ow. Ow. Before I realized the glass fragments in the frame had extended outwards. It was as though an ugly beast was trying to chew my hand off with glass teeth. It didn't just feel as though they were growing outwards. They were getting longer before my very eyes. And they're chewing my hand to bits! I tried desperately to pull my hand out, but it already dug deep into my wrists and I couldn't move it. I pulled all my strength into it. It just hurt more and more, and the glass didn't even budge. Hell. Damn it! Let go! I hit the glass with my right fist over and over. But that just hurt my right fist and nothing to release my other hand. Just then, my left hand, which was still exposed to the rain outside, brushed against something slimy. What? It could have been a leaf blown about by the winds or anything like that. I mean, it felt just like the touch of someone's rain-soaked hand. Then it closed tightly around my left hand. I felt the 5 fingers. I know that some person out in the darkness was touching my left hand. Yes. I know who it is. The witch. The terrifying witch who rules over Rokenjima's night. The 2 hands soaked in the freezing rain gently caressed my left hand. However, though I could tell what was happening by touch, I couldn't see anything out in there in the darkness. Then it felt about my fingers. He twisted my ring finger upwards. No! Ow! It's gonna break! At that moment, I saw something in the darkness for the first time. It was white. The darkness grinned, bared its white teeth. And the mouth filled with eerie white teeth. Approached my finger that had been twisted up so far that it was about to break. And opened wide. It must have been laughing at me from the darkness. After all, that creepy mouse was twisting upwards with a huge grin. I had a horrible idea of what it might be trying to do with my finger. A shiver ran up my spine. I resisted as much as I could, but the fangs of glass just wouldn't release my left hand. And then it gently bit my finger. Flesh and bone were crushed apart and torn in an instant.
Did you hear something just now?
I think I heard it too. Sounded like a clunk.
It's probably just the wind hitting a window. This is a beat-up old mansion, after all.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy. When I was a brat 6 years ago, I remember spending a lot of nights all scared that the witch was really walking around the mansion.
She exists! Beatrice exists!
What's the end of this hallway?
There are guest rooms there, but aren't being used now.
Yeah. After all, we have the guest house now. Until then, we should always stay in these guest homes. Guest rooms.
Yeah, I remember it too. So the guest house today, I was surprised at how beautiful it was.
Well, that's because it was just built. I wish I could move my own room over there. Shannon, Eric-san's room is in the guest house too, right?
Yes. We have prepared a room for her in the guest house.
And since the guest house is a good distance away from the mansion, no matter what kind of trouble happens, you can't hear what's going on in one from the other.
Are you still in detective mode? Sounds like you'll be all bummed when we all wake up tomorrow and manage to say good morning to each other.
True. At least one of us had better be gone by tomorrow morning. Right.
Allow me to guide you to the guest house.
The adults were apparently about to begin a conversation that they didn't want the kids to hear. The real family conference was about to start. As the kids and Erica followed Shannon on their way to the guest house, they passed through the entrance hall.
Looks like it's gonna be pouring down at its hardest right now.
We watch TV at the parlor until it dies down a bit.
Mama said to go back to the guest house. We have to go or she'll get mad.
I think we'll be able to relax a lot more over there. Better than getting to see and hear our parents get all pissed at us.
It looks like everything's falling into place.
Erica giggled an openly indiscreet look on her face.
Yeah.
I'll go get some umbrellas for everyone. Please wait here.
Oh, wait a second. It's been bugging me for a while. Who's that woman in that portrait? Well, to be honest, I already know that it's Beato's portrait. Still, we only just walked past it in the last game, which is no fun.
Erica whispered to herself, but of course no one would hear her.
This is the Master's benefactor. Beatrice-sama.
Joji.
Oh. They say that she gave grandfather a vast quantity of gold, meaning that she's to thank for the Ashiramiya family's revival.
She's just a witch of grandfather's delusions. Supposedly her ghost walks the corridors of the mansion every night.
Credit. The story always freaked me out when I was little. It always made the mansion feel terrifying after night fell.
Alright, that's true. What about now, 6 years later?
I totally forgotten. Looking at this portrait head on, I can feel that old fear coming back a bit.
Beatrice isn't scary. At least as long as you respect her. If you don't...
Jeez.
I'm okay.
I hope you are.
Right, Shannon?
Yes. That rumor does exist among the servants as well. Rumors about servants patrolling at night bumping into mysterious silhouettes or gold butterflies.
Huh?
Do you want somebody else to take over, Con?
Yeah, you can just... Like, we're pretty close to being done, I think. If you're not feeling 100, someone can just do your voices for you in the meantime. I'm sure AC wouldn't mind putting on the dress.
Hey guys, it's me, Jessica.
No, nobody wants to see AC in the dress.
Put on the maid outfit.
Excuse me? No.
Sorry, man, but you don't have the figure for it.
AC Atrice.
You say that.
Wait, have you seen what AC looks like?
You don't know AC's figure.
AC's figure is actually not half bad.
Yeah, he's got
Wait, is he a femboy?
Excuse
Skinny.
I'm kidding.
Hey! Anyways.
Anyways.
Yeah, that was
Con, are you good?
I'm good to continue. Yeah, it was last year or the year before. Didn't one servant fall down some stairs and get so badly injured that they quit? Wasn't there a rumor that it was Beatrice's curse?
Jessica told like it was a ghost story, trying to scare Erica. But Erica just laughed disdainfully. Come on. That's creepy. Probably just an accident, right? Just a coincidence?
Huh. It happened just after Grandfather had this portrait hung here, so it was probably the year before last. In fact, if I remember, this here is the staircase that servant fell down, right? Yep.
Yep. After all, this insanely huge portrait really stands out. Shortly after it was put up, everyone was talking about what it might be. And then when the accident happened shortly afterwards, people started calling it Beatrice's curse.
So these ghost stories about Beatrice started after the portrait was put on display.
No. Rumors about Beatrice-sama's ghost walking about were around even before that. However, I do think those stories grew in number after the portrait was put there.
Before then, even though they had heard about the witch Beatrice, they didn't have an actual distinct picture in their heads of what she looked like. Imagine that this portrait made that picture distinct for them, strengthening the rumors even more.
So, who started talking about this Beatrice witch in the first place?
Grandfather. He'd always start freaking out and yelling, "My beloved witch Beatrice!" So until we saw the portrait, we had no idea what she looked like.
It's no surprise that you'd get one or two ghost stories with a creepy portrait like this hanging around. You always find ghost stories cropping up around things like a portrait of Beethoven in the music room, or a statue of the school founder. Sorry, Beethoven. Anyways.
True. It wouldn't be strange for a few ghost stories to arise. In an old gloomy mansion where the sound of wind and rain present in the background for so long. Well, it's nothing more than a ghost story, a delusion, a fairy tale. Worth less than the useless drivel of a half-sleeping nitwit.
Umineko looked at the portrait and smiled at it hostilely, as though she felt that the smiles were disrespectful to Beato. Maria's face soured.
Beatrice exists. If you say things like that, you'll definitely feel the curse of the witch.
Oh, how frightening! Please curse me if you can, Beatrice.
So if we find you mysteriously dead next morning, we'll know it's the certain rising on a witch's murder case.
Okay.
But you're a detective, right? Wouldn't killing the detective off in the beginning be a bit too radical?
It would be troubling. That would get in the way of the crime scene inspection. I see. So after all that, even the Nox rules don't prohibit the detective being killed.
I am just what you need. It's a charm that'll protect you from Beatrice's curse.
A charm? You have a charm something like that? After fishing around in her bag, Maria pulled out a string of beads attached to a medal that had a scorpion drawn on it. Look like a cheap prize from an arcade or something.
What are these?
They're magic repelling charms. Their effects are very weak, but if you use them, you'll definitely be able to avoid Beatrice's curse all night long.
I've heard that spider was also useful for repelling magic.
And that's probably because Beato is the incarnation of a butterfly. Huh?
Wasn't it the evil spirits of Akujikishima that were weak against that? Kumasawa-san knows a lot about that sort of thing.
Witches and evil spirits, huh? This is getting a bit interesting. Would you mind telling me about it in a bit more detail when we get to the guest house?
Here are umbrellas for everyone. It's still raining very hard outside, so please take care.
Shan handed out the umbrellas she had brought. Everyone headed towards the exit. And then, when there were none left standing in front of the portrait, a gold butterfly appeared. It expanded out into a golden splash, becoming a human form. In the hall, empty now that the children had left, Beato stood alone and silent, looking up at her own portrait. Without a doubt, the figure depicted there was like her in an image, was as like her as an image in a mirror. However, it felt as though its eyes and expression were just a little bit different from hers. From her perspective, while the person in the portrait was almost infinitely close to herself, it was just as surely a different person entirely.
Who are you? Please tell me what kind of person you are.
Beata had already finished reading the fragments from Featherin's library, which showed the tales of all the games so far. However, the witch called Beatrice, who had been depicted in them, had been so vastly different from her. At the very end, it looked as though the witch and Battler had connected just a little bit as rivals. But for the most part, Beatrice had just bullied Battler in nearly all of the tales. Even though this was about her, she had no idea why Beatrice had tormented Battler so much when she had supposedly been born for Battler's sake. All she had learned from Featherin's library, that the former Beato was a completely different person, who defied understanding.
What happened to you? I am an egg of you. A chick. Your wings should have existed for father's sake. Just when did you have one of those torn off and end up so drastically different?
She had listened to the conversation Battler and the others had just been having. Beatrice can't handle scorpion charms. Beatrice can't deal with spiderwebs. She wouldn't have wanted to touch either of those by choice. But it wasn't as though anything terrible would happen if she did. Was being perfectly fine when around those. Proof that she wasn't Beatrice. Even though this involved her own self, she didn't understand it all. So she quietly gazed into her own eyes onto the portrait. It felt as though the truth hid behind those eyes. Beatrice slowly approached the portrait. And then, she lightly touched it. When she did, it felt as though the portrait rippled slightly. Yes.
This is a doorway.
A doorway to the long path that would lead her to the Golden Witch, Beatrice. Beata felt a bit dizzy. She lost her balance, feeling that the world was twisting around her. Then when she couldn't tell which way was up or down, she was swallowed downwards. Blunk. With a soft, watery sound, Beata was sucked into the portrait. The world inside the portrait was pitch black. However, there's nothing unsettling about it. It was a comfortable darkness, like when you put your hand under the covers in bed at night. Beato realized this was a world inside herself. So despite the darkness, she felt a warm embrace. As long as she asked for nothing, the world would ask nothing of her. But she couldn't remain like this. She didn't want to spend eternity inside the darkness of this world.
Yes, I need to hatch out of my egg. This darkness is the shell surrounding the golden butterfly called Beatrice. I will be born. For Father's sake. I will be born to live for Father's sake and to serve him.
She took her goal, her reason for being born, and put it into words. As if in response to those words, the seal in the shell began to melt away. Cracks appeared in the darkness, and a brilliant light enveloped the world. And so, Beatrice was born.
Huh?
The alternate Beatrice, will be voiced by B.
Cool.
I believe this narration is from Chick Beata's perspective as well, by the way.
There I stood, along with another me. For a second, I thought that the me in front of me was the real Beatrice, the one I wanted to be more like. However, she was looking back at me with the same bewildered eyes, so I realized that wasn't quite it. That's right. I wasn't the only one born from that egg. She was also born. Is she my twin? No, it feels a bit different. How can I put it? Both of us are lacking something and immature. Yes. Both of us are chicks, but we are also fragments of the true Beatrice. It felt as though we could become the real Beatrice together. No one explained this to us. However, we naturally understood. I decided to talk to this other me. Unless I get to know her and become one with her, I won't be able to become the Beatrice Father desires. In other words, the thing that Father wants from me, and was so heartbroken to find missing, must be something that she has. Hello?
The Beatrice with her hair down. Oh, that's fucking you. Shit.
The Beatrice with her hair down looked at me dubiously several times, then finally spoke.
Why is your face the same as my own?
The true Beatrice also spoke in that manner. It looks like she really does have something that I lack. Well, I don't know why either.
I am the Golden Witch Beatrice. And you are?
I am also Beatrice. I was born for the purpose of serving Ushiramiya Battler.
I am the Golden Witch and the ruler of Rokenjima's Night. I know of Ushiramiya Battler, but I have trouble imagining why I'd serve a brat like him.
I realized that the thought I'd had a second ago must have been true. Together, we really can become the true Beatrice. Though the person in front of me does have the part that makes her a witch, which I lack. She does not possess the mission to live for Ushiramiya Battler's sake. She has what I do not. And I'm sure I have something she does not. We must be two, and yet one single person. I think we're something like twins.
No, that's not so. You are my little sister. I've been here since long before you were born.
Huh? Is that so? I was born later. So does that mean the mission to live for Ushiramiya Battler's sake was born later on? However, I don't think my whole existence is something quite as faint and intangible as a mission. I have enough of a personality to think and act as I am doing now. So the witch Beato and I are separate people, with both of us possessing something the other lacks. In that sense, maybe it's fitting for us to call ourselves sisters, as she says. I want to know about you.
I also wish to know. I understand that you are also me. Why is it that you speak that way, and why must you serve Battler? Until we grow to understand this, it seems both of us will remain immature.
I want to become a complete Beatrice.
Until you were born, I was complete. However, now that you've appeared, I believe that accepting you is my fate. I also wish to know about you.
The witch Beato's tone was very slightly arrogant, which fitted her self-proclaimed status as the older sister. Oh, it's still you.
However, since we both realized we were the same person, there was no need for her to be a bully. She probably realized that after meeting me, her current form was no longer her real self. Where are we? Is this the hall of the mansion? Oh,
Beato gasped. Her portrait wasn't there. Did that mean that this was at least 2 years in the past?
Precisely. This is the hall of the Ushirmia mansion. The night is my time. And the nighttime mansion is mine as well. That fool Kinzo is still so desperate to catch me or revive me. How truly ironic. Here I am openly ruling the mansion every night.
so what do you do here?
I've lost my body, and due to the effects of that hateful shrine, I have no magical energy. However, my power is reviving bit by bit every day. I can't wait to eventually undergo a spectacular resurrection and have a good laugh at Kinzo. I can't wait to tell him that I've succeeded in escaping his cage. Simply put, I'm a ghost killing time by wandering about night after night, with nothing to look forward to besides teaching that old man a lesson.
May I join you?
Of course. After all, you are a part of me. How could the left hand refuse the company of the right? Why should I refuse? I shall be pleased to have you, my little sister, the new Beatrice.
Thank you very much, One-sama.
A somewhat embarrassing name. But it is not bad. Come, let us go. Let us take a walk through the nighttime mansion. Let me introduce you to my boring everyday life.
You drumming?
Typing.
Mm.
The two
I thought for a
Beatrices-
second you were trying to
The two
tell me to say
Beatrices-
something.
The two Beatrices changed their forms into gold butterflies, flitting silently into the depths of the shadowy mansion. And that's where we'll be leaving it off.
Alright, so we're introducing time travel. Great.
It's not really time travel.
It said 2 years in the past.
I wouldn't say that it was time travel.
How is that? How is going 2 years into the past not time travel?
Yes, Con, you may go to bed.
You can go to bed now, Con.
You could have gone to bed at any time, Con. You don't have to suffer through if you don't want to.
It's like metaphorical time travel.
Also, well, Bone, by that logic, wasn't time travel wasn't episode 2 reproduced? No, wasn't time travel introduced in episode 2?
In what way?
Huh?
In what way?
The nature of having like different game boards, essentially.
Oh yeah, but that's like a time loop. Like this is like going back in time into like a distant
time loop.
Time loop-ish. I don't know what to call it.
Well, I mean, like Bone, consider the, I guess like the terminology that they kind of use.
Tell me a term I should use.
Well, think of it more like they describe these as games, as chessboards. It's not like it's a looping of events. It's setting up a new version of the same event.
I don't know, this feels a bit different.
Imagine an alternate story route.
I guess.
That's what gets his mind to it.
Is that what is mind going to, Orange?
I mean, yeah, I guess it is sort of like an alternate reality type thing. If you want
Alright.
if you want to take these as like different realities, essentially.
I don't know, it felt off the beaten path, so I wasn't sure. I don't know, do you want me to go through my thoughts now?
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, for starters, we're going to enter into. I forgot I have it, so it says sad time on it. But anyways, we're going to give everybody a minute or two to kind of compose their thoughts and whatnot.
Oh.
You're right, Morinda. We're going through all the fetishes.
It was not elaborated on last session, so I would like to request everyone to specifically give their thoughts about the mysterious person in the mysterious room.
I was wondering about that. My theory still stands.
But not right now. But not right now. After thinking time.
Take some time to think. Take some time to think about it.
Think about this, won't you? Thank you.
Stop. Take some time to think. Figure out what's important to you.
Also, would you please go to the main menu, Orange?
Sure thing.
Because this is giving me. I gotta say the line.
You don't like Shannon staring into your soul, Randy?
I do, but I feel like I have to say the line.
Well, yeah, I guess what we can do is talk about Beatrice the Elder, a mysterious witch who existed even before the rules. She has the same name as Beata, but she was not given the purpose of devoting herself to Battler. A mere shadow of a witch sealed away by Kinzo. She spends her days pulling small pranks and clearing away the anti-magic toxin for the sake of her resurrection. Has many things in common with the evil spirits of Akuji Kishima, such as a fear of spiderwebs. She was the one who gave Shannon the golden butterfly brooch. And then that's all we're going to talk about then.
Huzzah.
So then, yeah, we will move out of the video game. I'm just going to keep doing the saving thing just to make absolutely sure I got it. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the Discord streams in case you guys see my fucking backgrounds or whatever the fuck. It wasn't anything too bad. It was some Chainsaw Man shit.
So while we wait for people to gather their thoughts, Joshi.
Yes.
Now that Beatrice is a big sister.
And you're in the story, Yoshia.
Now that she's an old hag, what do you think?
Wow!
Wow!
I'm sorry, that was my thought whenever I said the Elder. I thought, man, that's like a formal old person name.
Well, I mean, this Beatrice does look good with the hair down and the outfit.
I realize not feeling long Beato.
No, this is the best combination of hair and outfit.
This is the ultimate Beatrice.
Nah, I like short hair with the suit.
I like all Beatrices because I'm a true Beatrice enjoyer.
That's so true. She never had short hair.
Is she, Morinda?
I am a Beatrice enjoyer.
Average Beatrice fan.
Yeah, this version of Beatrice is better. They're all great.
Exactly. They're all fantastic.
I just want to say in general, that was a very good session for the most part. Very minor technical foibles, but otherwise I think we had things pretty much unlocked. Good job, everybody.
There was I believe,
I'm so sorry for typing too hard at the very end. I didn't realize it was gonna pick up.
It's fine.
Also, I thought you were like drumming in anticipation.
Also, my push to talk button was Alt, and I accidentally pressed another key during one of the George moments, and it activated the fucking NVIDIA overlay when I went to.
Why do you have it on the Alt-Up button?
I'm not impressed. I'm not using anything else or Alt right now. Like,
I'm trying to think. Like, what was that like really like wistful song that was playing when Shannon was pinning Cannon to the bed?
Please do not
that is Aicho or Blue Butterfly.
Oh yeah, Blue Butterfly. There we go.
Did y'all catch the Higurashi?
Wait, what?
In there?
No.
No, like Orange, I phased Higurashi out of my sight.
I like Higurashi, yeah, a lot.
Listen, I mean, I'm not a Higu main or anything like that, but I will always enjoy you and any like little musical motifs to it. So,
what is Blue Butterfly? Like, is that the song?
That's the song.
Butterfly is in fact the song. Also, I just want to say something rather funny that I noticed. Well, actually, no, I just remembered. I was trying to find an Animal Crossing town tune when I was like playing New Horizons. My town tune has been Deep Blue Jeer this entire time. It's great. This is the Great Detective Knows. No, wait, I think it's like dun 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 dun. So I'm pretty sure it's
That's the Great Detective.
It's Great Detective Knows. Yeah. Great Detective Knows. Also, shout out to that guy who joined the Discord server and left within seconds.
New ground, we broke new ground.
Smartest person on the server.
Why did they do that? Is there a reason?
I don't know. I do know what the fuck it's Ed. They're a Twitter follower of mine. So hey, if you see this, hey, come back.
Come back.
Please.
I need subscribers and followers, okay? Please.
It's a server for Erica.
Server for Erica, yes.
No,
Very
you're
true.
gonna scare the hoes away.
What are you talking about? Randy's still here. Kidding, mostly.
Can I be honest? I didn't. I'll be honest. I forgot that. Not forgot, but like, I did not know Canon had a very similar name to I myself when I had requested Orange to be Canon.
What do you mean, Joshua? Joshua? No, it's a Yoshia.
Yoshua, yeah.
I mean, they're
But
derived
yeah.
from the same origin.
But yeah, what is it? I call Joshi Joshua sometimes for both the biblical sense and because I just it sounds like Canon's actual name technically.
Yes, because J did not exist in Hebrew.
Yeshua.
What?
What? Actually, yeah. Wait, run that back. What the fuck was that?
J didn't exist in Hebrew.
That is
So is that-
incorrect.
Oh, is it?
I was thinking of dope.
That was not. You did not. Crimson. I literally cannot tell
That
when you're
sounded
joking.
so genuine. And you like giving fun facts, so it
have
sounded
one-
like one of your fun facts.
You have one tone of voice, Crimson. You have to work on that a
Hey,
little
you know
bit.
what else is a joke?
What?
This conversation.
So
Next
true,
bit.
Zaz.
I know what else is a
honestly.
joke?
Next
These
bit.
nuts in your mouth.
That's not a joke. Jokes needs to be
Should
funny.
I do the thing?
Next.
But yeah, what is it?
Discussion time?
You did a good job, Yashi. And also Rindy and Khan, but Khan's dead as fuck right now. Let's look at my was very on point.
It was.
You guys don't understand that. Like today, Zaz was posting so many different Erica-gasm emotes.
I was really maybe trying a little bit too hard with the horror scene. I don't know.
Oh, it's because Randy started it.
At different levels of vibration, this emote.
Randy ignited it, so I just started posting all the ones that I have.
Okay, just blame me, sure.
You did.
But hey, you
posted
know,
the Erica grab.
if you subscribe now, you can get your hands on a vibrating Erica emote, something you can use to annoy every single streamer you see.
No.
This was all just an elaborate scheme to sell you on.
Also, we have Lambda dancing too. That's pretty great. Also, and also, if we get more subscribers, we can get even more funny Umineko themed emotes. It's great.
Wait, can I not unlock the animated emotes with the orange cube points?
No, you have to use real world money or Twitch Prime to get what you want.
Oh, you bitch. You, creator of Twitch Orange Boy.
It's me. I'm Jeff Bezos.
Here, you get a penny.
Cool. Look, it's Battler. There he is.
Fight man.
Default animation Battler. Let's go. Also, you could have like said something. I'm pretty sure. I have text.
No.
I have like text to speech enabled for bit donations. You can put whatever the fuck you want in there. Go ahead.
There we go. I added it here.
There we go. Perfect.
Huzzah.
There we go.
Oh, later.
Your text to speech thing is like aggressively low. I cannot hear it.
I think it's better this way for reading stream.
Yeah, I don't know why you would even have that.
Streaming love your content. Love the Okinogi guy. Is
Like, that's good for, like,
Just curious.
chat streams, but we're
You
not
guys
doing
a
chat
Dragon Ball
streams.
game stream?
Oh yeah, we're going through this deep emotional moment where people are delving into their personal feelings for each other, and then the text-to-speech bot goes lol lamau lamau
Read the
lol
saga song of
incest
Beetlesaurus,
pedophile.
a wackadoo madcap adventure about the world's coolest.
For the record,
cyborg
I will be
geek shipping through
turning
such
off
problems as cursed girlfriends,
notifications during very specific
political ducks
scenes,
in space,
and I will be turning
the
off
aftermath
the
of the
sound of the
destruction of the internet and
notifications
the corrupt
for other
government run
things.
by overpowered-
But I mean,
Can
you
I-
know, like,
Josh
what is it?
exports. Josh exports the Twitch VODs, correct?
Yep.
So
So he sees everything
Maybe-
anyway.
Can
But,
I
like,
read out
really quickly. It's number
No.
one. Shut up. That was you. Anyways, it's like we get these things so infrequently that it's not quite an issue right now. But you know, I will make absolutely sure during very specific scenes that it will not be a problem. And if I don't, remind me.
Should I do my thoughts now?
Yep. It's been enough time. You guys can go ahead. Say what you want.
All right. I believe they said at the beginning that they were planning on covering up Kinzo's death again, Natsui and Kraus. Am I correct? Or did I was on my phone getting my chicken. I might have misheard.
Yes, they still intend to cover up the murder.
Gotcha.
Or the
All right,
death,
so
the
that
death. He's dead.
Yeah. So that seems like it will probably be a constant. I put out the idea, but I do not actually believe this, that Shannon and Kennen are literally not human. I doubt this. But just hearing them not refer to themselves as human a lot, like, just had me have that thought. Has anybody, do any of you guys have thoughts? Any of you guys that aren't Inner Circle?
Bone, what do you think it means to be furniture?
I did kind of have a thought that they're making, like, the chessboard analogy, the pieces on the chessboard. It's like, okay, could this be, like, the table the chessboard is, like, on?
Yes, my favorite chess piece, the Ottoman.
From the Ottoman Empire.
It's like the thing that the board is on. I don't know. I doubt this. There's probably a deeper and more nuanced meaning that they will probably go into deep detail about, but I do not know it. It doesn't seem random. I'm gonna take it that... Wait, is Shelly still here? Did Shelly leave?
No, Shelly's been gone for 5 years.
Shelly abandoned his post and has been kicked out of the Discord.
Wait,
he's
what,
dead
really?
now. No,
No.
I'm joking. Holy shit.
Oh, God.
Or you need to learn how to be.
I killed Shelly.
I was like, wait, did something happen? Well,
No, I'm joking.
Uh,
Also, he's playing Skyrim still anyway.
I misread that Abyss as stool beats armchair in rock, paper, scissors.
At any rate, back to your thoughts, please.
Alright, I've made the suggestion that I've noticed characters act different in each arc, it seems. Ken and Shannon acted very differently than normal. Very differently. So I wonder if that has to do with how they're being controlled by the players, or could it be that memories have crossed over? I do not quite know. Any thoughts from the normies here?
I'm just thinking, it could be just different ways of how certain things was put together. Like certain events didn't happen, so it changes some people's personalities at that moment of time. Like,
Potentially.
Yeah, potentially. Like, what happened if Maria didn't get bitch slapped by her mom multiple times beforehand? And
Butterfly
caused that
effect.
one event? Like that, like a little bit of a fragment artifacting, causing a different thing to happen.
I don't know if it's butterfly effect, but like this is a dramatic change in the